Hey everyone, thought I'd do another stock selection this week. I just finished going through a lot of tickers. Things are bonkers level bullish on individual names. Like it's unreal how bullish we can be at all-time highs. And like I selected something like what's this? 103 tickers, and it's not even like half. I skipped a million tickers that are also bullish. Uh, and let's get through it because we have a lot to go through. I'll go through this quickly, stop on the more important ones, but other than that, just draw levels. I'll post some of the more important ones on Twitter as well, and that's it. So next week, I'll start with semis. Next week we have TSM and ASML earnings, which are gonna be a very big deal. Um, ASML with this kind of pennant here, RSI slightly below 50, so it's more in a decision mode. Whatever earnings gives us, we should go with it. It's at 50%, it will go up a lot or it will go down a lot. Uh, don't know where it goes. You saw that crazy Nvidia flow from Thursday. I'll talk about that one in the market update. But for now, basically, this can go up a lot or it can go down a lot. TSM at all-time highs, retest, and with potential to break out. ASML has earnings on Wednesday pre-market, I think, and TSM has pre-market on Thursday. So these two earnings will set the tone for semis. Individual names in semis look incredibly bullish, and we'll see what the index does as well. Then we have MU. Nothing really that interesting here from a structure perspective, just that we haven't gone down after this push up, like we backtested sort of backtested the horizontal level here, basically the 100 level. Health for now is going up and making a nice trend line. And if we recapture this horizontal level and the AVGO up from the high, expect a big move up. Basically, you should do something like this and then back to 130-ish, maybe even higher. We'll see. Uh, Visible with a naked eye as well, like double up-ish. This would be the target, like 136. Somewhere in this area if we manage to go through the AVU up and this horizontal level. Of course, if we get rejected, and it's not going to be an MU thing, it's going to be a market-wide thing. If semis get rejected, we should be doing this retest of the lows in the 85 area. We'll see. MRVL looks like a breakout on Friday. This was on a watch list from last week, and it eventually decided to go up. This for There's another one. This one I posted on Twitter, which also look like they're about to pop off. Um, the comment here is that they have very shit liquidity or options. This should be more like stocks or don't play options unless you get a good feel. I looked at them and they have like barely any contracts and pretty shit liquidity and spreads. NXPI should see something like this and this. So breakout from 245 goes to 260-ish, potentially obviously higher. Again, double up. This range goes to here. Uh, UCTT with this nice bull flag here. Target 45, 47, but can definitely go higher. Something like this. This seems like a mid-range setup, so basically probably a bit lower. Yeah, something like this. So this would be a target like 44, 45. This being the mid-range of, see, like this, between the 42, the low, and so still looks good. Skyworks looks, I took a position in this one. It has better liquidity, and again, lots of potential for here to, on the recapture of the horizontal level, lots of potential to go to 104, 105. Like this, go here. Can go definitely go higher, 114, 116. Qualcomm tried to go lower, held again. Also, like RSI going at 50. This is just waiting to pop off and go crazy. I don't think it will take this long. Next week most likely is going to happen. So let's just adjust this. It's either going to do this or going to go lower because maybe earnings are shit. I think the only way we go lower at this point is if earnings are shit for TSM and ASML, or I don't know, some other names next week. We'll see. But this is a binary setup leaning heavily bullish, and it should go higher. ON try to go lower. Let's say it saved this. It's not. It's a messy chart, so like this is the within the tolerance range. So it still doesn't count as a breakdown. So definitely can still do this. Expectation is that most of this will pop up next week. They will choose direction next week, so it won't take this long. But definitely we highest chance next week, but definitely can be another week or so. Kind of the expectation. Uh, Lattice LSCC also looks good. Tried to go lower on Friday and got bought out. Held this recapture here, like it went above and held it. That also looks bullish. Should go to 63, 65 area for now. Everything leaning bullish. And again, this is just not the tip of the iceberg, but like 30% of the iceberg. What I'm showing you, there's a lot more, and they all look bullish. TXN holding above the previous all-time high, consolidating in a bull flag here. Uh, Again, leaning bullish. It would be an all-time high breakout, so it should go quite a bit. Let's just say double this, so 220-ish for now, but can definitely go higher because not only do we have this small leg here, we also have this, which this one says 255. So one leg at a time, but definitely a bullish setup here for TXN. Broadcom, all-time high, above again, then try to go. You see how here, when we go, when this high immediately got rejected. This time we didn't get rejected. We didn't. We actually bought the dip on the 176 level here, so pretty bullish as well. Expectation is that it just keeps like maybe go sideways a bit and then goes like this, something like do a bull flag here, something like this, and then it just goes higher as well. Also lots of potential to double this area here, like to 12 to 15, something like this. And finally for semis, but again, this is just a few names, it's not everything. KLAC, also with this nice build up here. Let's draw some horizontal levels on it. I would say this can go to 900 now, like on this, on a breakout here. Retest this, consolidate a while, then potentially do the full-fledged breakout, or maybe do a sideways range. Let's assume this range between 705 and basically 900. 1.1K, something like that, be the target. 1100, something like this. Okay, next, let's do banks. First of all, like we had JPM earnings. Next week we have other earnings. Reaction was bullish. I didn't even look at the numbers. Wow, quite nice. Okay, the theme here is everything looks bullish as fuck. Like I'll show CRE, which is regional banks, and it's going back into the level where it broke down from when we had the regional bank crisis in March of 2023. And this is a bullish build up. If we manage to have a breakout here and recapture of this level, things are incredibly bullish. And all individual names show this. Like we should be going back to 67, 68, 70, something like this. Pretty higher, like 72, 75. This will just be a stop on that way. So CRE itself looks bullish as fuck. It should break out. Maybe we even retest all-time high. And this is very bullish for IWM, by the way. Then let's look at a couple of names. NYCB, which was the poster child of the banking crisis. Nice build up here. I'll show the weekly. Uh, Again, huge level. If we recapture it, it would be extremely bullish. We have a build up here. Um, this is going to be squeezed as fuck. Like I imagine there's still a lot of shorts in this name. Uh, Air pocket kind of look here. Like we can go some resistance 17 and 13, but then it kind of this is still air pockety. Like we dropped from here. Lots of levels, but they're not hard resistance level. They're very thin. Let me put in volume profile. See, like lots of accumulation here and nothing here. So once this thing goes, it will fucking go. It's not gonna be a slow thing, consolidation and whatever. It's not gonna be this shit. It's going to be this. Like when this thing goes, it will go, and we have air pocket until 25. Pretty crazy. And Cree will go with it. Don't need this anymore. So it's incredible what can happen in the next couple of months. Uh, Again, I'm in disbelief at how bullish things look. Uh, I'll talk more about it in the uh, so like this is the way it would look like. Like by January, they should basically double or more. If nothing breaks before now and then. But it's gonna be an epic squeeze if it goes. Then we have some other names that haven't been beaten down to nothing. Like this looks just like Cree, USB, US Bancorp. Again, lots of potential to go higher. We have Redfin. It's not a bank, but finance as well, which I think is holding here and could be a good breakout reversal play, like holding in this horizontal level area uh, after a breakout, which went pretty hard. So now we should be seeing, if this area holds, we should be seeing a retest of 17 on the breakout. Obviously, it's not going to go straight up, but something like that. First Horizon Corporation, another bank, uh, regional bank. This one had a breakout on Friday. Looks pretty good. It was on the watch list from last week. And of course, expectation is of a continuation. Same kind of look as air pocket. So if this doesn't stop, it will go up to, I don't know, 21 air pockets. Pretty higher, like something like this. So banks are incredibly bullish. If next week earnings are okay, these things will absolutely blow up. Like when does NICB have earnings? September 24th. Oh, sorry, October 23rd. 23rd is another week or so. 1 week from Wednesday. If this does well on earnings, I think it can pop up like 60%. It's worth a lot, though. Just all I'm saying. But buy it now because Ivy will go nuts probably next week, and I would expect that based on the other bank earnings, it will break out. It will move a bit higher. Maybe it finds us at 15 or something like that when their own earnings comes in. So you should be able to get a double up, triple up, or something like this before earnings. And I don't know, take your initial investment from that out, leave it running, and if earnings are good and nothing bad happens, this can pop up 60%. Okay, UWMC, UME Holdings, uh, horizontal breakout. RSI very oversold here, usually bounces at this level, and it's a horizontal level back test. This looks good for a bounce. And target would be something like this. Go to 8-ish. Seems about right. Obviously can go higher, but just talking about the short-term move. Western Union looking good as well. Has this combo area resistance, but I think it can pop through it and do well. It will depend on earnings as well, but if earnings are okay, this can move significantly higher. Redfin already talked about it. FHN talked about it. BlackRock, sorry, no Block, BlackRock. All-time high breakout. Lots of potential. Minimum, like this leg alone, should be a double up of this. So 1100-ish. And again, if we do this, 1150-ish, 1160-ish, something like that. We'll see. Berkshire still on the list from last week. Didn't pop off, but likely it will because holding above 50 RSI, this is accumulation more or less, or not necessarily accumulation from a stock perspective, but energy buildup. The longer it stays here, the more brutal the next move is going to be, either up or down. And because of how everything looks, it's very likely that it's going to be up. Cree talked about it. Root is on the list from last week. I missed this on Thursday. Didn't see that it wasn't paying attention to it, but it jumped 16% on Thursday. Tried to go down and held the horizontal level, which is the important thing here. So expectation is that this will move higher moving forward as well. Like bam, 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 potentially back to highs. Okay, let's do general tech. Palo Alto Networks attempting to make new all-time highs. This was on the list from last week. Moved to it had a sort of a breakout. This was what it looked like last week on this candle here. Back tested and then just shot up and is making new all-time highs or attempting to make new all-time highs. We shall see if it does so. Expectation, because everything bullish, expectation is that it will do so and eventually do this. Amazon, pen and build up on the watch list for a breakout. Apple, pen and build up on the watch list for a breakout. Also, like, let's do a horizontal line here because it looks pretty important. So 233, if it gets above 233, like it should attempt to go here like this, but may get rejected here or break out. If it breaks out, more upside, 250, 250 probably. Meta is on the list because of this small bull flag. Meta has a huge wall at 600. No, Microsoft, Meta. Like huge OI wall, biggest level by far. It should draw us in next week. So I put this one on the list for a short-term weekly play that we get to 500. Plan is buy calls on open on Monday and just let's see what happens. Weekly calls, not something bigger. Obviously, it can go higher, but for now, this is why it's on the list for a weekly play on 600C for end of next week. Then some random names. ALLT. I have no idea what the fuck this is. I don't know if it's most likely liquid, but if you would like to play it, it looks pretty good from a technical perspective for at least a move to 333, potentially even more. MOMO, again, random name that just looks good. Horizontal breakout here. Backtest of the horizontal breakout holding 50 RSI or above it. Uh, Looking quite decent for a breakout next week. And if this backtest holds, it should go significantly higher, like to probably 9, 10 in this area here. Currently at 7. Zelos group. So huge horizontal level. Initially broke out above the initial area here, and now it has backtested, bounced, a pretty decent green day on Friday. If this breaks out and recaptures the upper end of this horizontal area, we have potential for much higher prices. Should go to 84. Kind of an air pocket look here. Let's do... Actually, I'm going to leave this on. Yeah, air pocket here, see? Whatever. This was supposed to change based on what I see. I have to leave it a second. But basically above this area, we have a air pocket because we dropped, even when we went up the first time, we went up very quickly. And when we dropped to it, we dropped very quickly. So there was no buildup of orders in this area. Because there are no orders in this area, don't expect to be sell orders. So when this goes above, it should go above without too much resistance. The only resistance is basically the recent high. Like this. Some resistance here, but then above this level, for the 67 level, nothing until 84. So we should move through until 84 without much resistance if it goes above this. Even as a short-term play, for if it would get rejected, like a short-term play to 68 for a retest of that level, is probably decent. So even if it does this, taking from 62 to 68 is 10%, decent play. Okay. Nice. What the fuck is this one again? A random name that just looks good. Holding this area, some accumulation. Green on Friday, attempting to break out. If it breaks out, it should do a minimum of retest of 183, but potential for higher is always there. And if this 184 level goes, the air pocket look here is also very enticing. I could get rejected here and do this again, or like this. But once it gets above and price is accepted above, it should surge up. Match. Okay, match, horizontal breakout potential here. Um, Ascending triangle. Once it goes, it should go to 43-ish, potentially higher. Udemy, attempting to break out, didn't quite do it on Friday, and this means it may go back to 7 like 20, retest this low area again. But the bullish potential is definitely there, and we can go to 9, 10. Main target will be this 981 area, most likely. Yeah, this area is the target. Amphenol, what the fuck is this? No idea, but it looked good, so it's on the list. Let's draw some horizontal levels. This one is okay. Here. Okay, so potential for a breakout. If it breaks out, minimum would be retest of the high area. If it breaks out and goes higher, obviously uh, higher targets. Let's just assume this. So target would be around 80 if it breaks out there. With these obscure names that are not very popular, be very careful with options. Don't buy if you see like open interest in the low tens or hundreds and like that. Don't buy. If you see spreads bigger than 10%, don't buy options. Only buy for the most liquid expirations. Like don't buy October 1st, no, November 1st. Don't buy this shit like 8th of November. Never buy that. You only buy the monthly expiration because that's the most liquid, and quarterly expiration, something like that. So for stocks like this, the most liquid expiration is usually January of the next year or the next quarter, the next monthly expiration. But don't go crazy with this kind of names if they are not liquid. Avoid buying options on illiquid names. Go with shares or just avoid them. You don't have to buy everything. Okay, EA. So EA is on the list because of the long-term potential. It's been building this thing up for quite a while. A huge accumulation here, an ascending triangle. I'll do monthly because it looks like a monthly thing. Tried to go up again on last month to break out. Got rejected. Went lower this month, but refusing the move lower. This is kind of constructive on a daily level. Had sort of a breakout last week. I would assume the next attempt to break out will be successful. And this type of build up is going to be powerful. Like this is the type of stock you buy lips on and you let it do its thing. Let it go 200, 300, whatever the fuck it's going to do. But don't buy anything short dated on this one. It's generally relatively illiquid, so unless there's some flow on it, it shouldn't be that playable. But if it is playable, it's going to be like 6 months out, 1 year out options, and you let it do its thing because it moves slow. Doesn't do like 10% days and shit like that. It's pretty tame even on the downside. So you have to let it do its thing for a couple of months to get the most out of it. Boeing is still on the list from last week. I remind you what the play is. The play is wait for earnings. Whatever it does, go with it. Because shorts are going to be in. If it dumps, it gets into our buy area. Anything below 144 is a buy, in my opinion. So if it dumps on earnings on the 23rd, buy. If it goes up on earnings, then it's going to squeeze. This has a bullish look to it, in my opinion. Like, it wouldn't be the worst thing in the world to buy a position speculatively before earnings. Same idea as, what was it? I don't remember what the name I mentioned. Whatever. Same idea that you buy now for the potential for a move before earnings. If it goes up before earnings, you take out your initial money and let it run and see what happens. Then we have Lyft and Uber. Both moved up. All-time high breakout on Uber with a spike in volume. Nice spike in volume, so this is likely an impulsive move. Full candle, gap up plus full candle. So this should be pretty momentum driven and can go higher. Lyft as well, lots of potential to go much higher than this. I would say short-term target is 15 before earnings. And if earnings are good, we go back to an attempt for the horizontal breakout here. If earnings are bad, obviously it's going to dump again, but it is what it is. ASAN is still on the list from last week, still looking good. Team had continuation up, that's why it's no longer on the list. So team this was last Friday, this is the candle, and had continuation up after an attempt to go up, move lower and hold. I would expect Asana to start moving relatively soon as well. Zillow, Zoom info, sorry. This is from Taylor on Twitter. Had a breakout on Friday, looking decent. Target 11 initially. This would be the main target if it has continuation, like 16. Also probably has a gap here. So above 13. If it gets to 13, then it should, and breaks above, it should surge very quickly to 15, 16. So the bullish look would be something like this, pull back, hold, and then surge again. This will be the play out more or less. Cars.com, big horizontal level, RSI oversold, looking like bottoming behavior. This one is probably wait for recapture 16, and if it recaptures 16, you can go with it for a potential breakout here. See, yeah, something like this. This one has a lot of resistances. About right. Bitcoin names. What's Bitcoin doing in the weekend? It went up quite a bit yesterday. Doing nothing. Still on the list. Nothing's changed. Riot similar. We had Square and what was the other MicroStrategy? MicroStrategy broke out new all-time highs. Square also moved higher, but not quite in a big way yet. Still looking good, is still on the list. Same with Riot, had a small breakout, nothing special. Upstart, I tweeted this one during the week with this breakout here, had continuation. It's a horizontal level as well. So if it breaks above and doesn't get rejected in this area, air pocket, like it can go, because it fell through quickly, it can go pretty bonkers to 70. No resistance. ASTS just a move lower. I would absolutely love for this to go to the AVGO up, so not get it's on the list, but I would love it to do like a fake out below 20. A fake out below 20 would be amazing, or just 20 itself. And if it does this, a great buy at 20. So BABA is on the list because it held out pretty well on the Chinese correction. Even before the big move up in Chinese equities, BABA was showing outperformance on a relative basis, so it was still in an uptrend, while the other names were kind of going down, like Web. See, like BABA was going up and Queb was going down, like here. BABA was going up all the way through the Queb pullback. And this outperformance is visible here as well because some other names pull back a lot more. So I would expect next week we potentially have another move down because the news from China event this weekend wasn't that good. But BABA should hold 100 and then we had another leg up. And if we break out on the horizontal level here and we capture the AV up from the all-time high, this shit can go bonkers and we have a 170 target. What? Oh, is in the semis? Yeah, it's semis. I'll move it to semis. Another semi name with a bullish look. Nothing else to talk about. No breakout. Got a bit of a rejection here on Friday, but nothing concerning. Can do like a pullback, but I would assume this is now bullish and will eventually move higher, get to 150. Verizon, horizontal breakout, big level here, recapture of the level, back test. If the back test holds, then we are in business. Pretty straightforward. LUNR, I tweeted about this one on Thursday and opened a position. Breakout on the 4 hours. Just a cool bull flag and potential to go to have a breakout with S9 or even go to 13 if this thing squeezes again because it likes to squeeze. You see this, you see this. It's a squeezable name. This one from Taylor as well from earlier in the week. Horizontal level, huge one. And kind of recapturing it. Let's just wait for a close above 5, let's say. So if this goes above 5, it will squeeze. Start counting the levels and targets. Also a squeezable name. Yeah. Palantir is on the list because it's no longer that some new OI came in. I'll show you guys. So this is yesterday OI level, and I'll show you on the 4th. And we had 45, we had 42 and 45 as the biggest ones, and 45 was at 70K, and 50 was at 51K. And this week we have like plus 40K on 45. We have a lot more on 50. We also have some 55 and 60 coming in. So this is not that scary anymore. It's still extremely oversold, and I think because of the way it looks, maybe pokes a bit above 45, but it should correct. It went too vertical too quickly, and this type of moves don't correct sideways, they correct down. So I still think it's short somewhere in this area just because it went up too quickly. But that's kind of it. Even ARK looks bullish, if you can believe it. In spite of Tesla's drop on Friday, we have ARK in the positive and holding above 50 RSI. Kind of a good look. Also kind of a potential for a horizontal breakout here. Shorter move to retest this high area. But if ARK finally breaks out, I think we have a lot of room to go up to like this 71 area. Finally for tech, PBI, penny bows. Important horizontal level. Let's do weekly. See here, this was the level here. Bullish look, RSI breakout, good potential for continuation, and we should go to 9.3, 9.4 in this area here. Obviously, potential to go even higher if depending on how the market behaves. Something like this. Okay, I'll stop this first video here and do the other stuff as a separate one. Okay, bye bye.